In a quiet village in India lived a boy named Samir. He was 16, barefoot and full of dreams. Every day he walked 5 kilometers to school on hot roads that burned his feet. Yet he never complained. He walked with his head high, books clutched to his chest, and a fire in his eyes that said, "One day, things will change." Samir lived with his mother in a small clay house. His father had passed away when he was just a baby. His mother worked as a maid in several homes, earning just enough to buy rice, pay school fees, and sometimes get Samir pencils or a used book. Samir was a bright student, always the first to raise his hand, always the last to leave class. But one thing made him feel small: his bare feet. The other kids had polished shoes, shiny lunchboxes, and clean uniforms. Samir had none of those, just his will. One day after school, the principal called him in. "Samir, you've won the state scholarship exam. You'll go to the city for training and interviews." Samir's heart pounded with joy, but that night, as he told his mother, he saw her smile fade. "Beta, how will we afford the city, the bus fare, your clothes, your shoes?" Samir lowered his head. He hadn't thought of that. The next morning, his mother gave him a cloth pouch. Inside was 700. Her entire month's savings. "Go," she said softly. "Make your father proud." Samir traveled to the city. Big buildings, busy streets. It was all new. At the scholarship center, the instructor looked at him and frowned. "No shoes?" he asked. Samir smiled. "No, sir." The man sighed and handed him a form. "You'll need shoes for the final round. You can't enter the hall barefoot." Samir nodded. That night, instead of eating, he walked to the city market. He looked at every shop window. He had 400 left. Most shoes cost 500. Finally, he saw a small shop in a corner lane. The owner, an old man with kind eyes, looked at Samir's tired face. Looking for something, Samir said shyly, "Sir, I need shoes, but I only have 400. The man looked down at his feet, scarred from years of walking. Without a word, he pulled out a box. Inside was a pair of black leather shoes, slightly worn but sturdy. "They belong to my son," he said. "He passed away last year. He was about your size. You can have them, no charge." Samir's lips trembled. "But sir," the man raised a hand, "just promise me. One day you'll help someone like I helped you." Samir nodded, tears in his eyes. He wore the shoes proudly. He passed the final round. Then came the interview, then a scholarship, then college, then a job. Years passed. Samir became a civil services officer. He wore suits now, gave speeches, signed files. But he never forgot the shoes. He kept them polished and safe in a glass box in his home, next to a photo of his mother and a note that read, "Never forget where you started." One day, as he was visiting his old village, he saw a boy walking barefoot down the same dusty road he once traveled. The boy looked tired but determined, just like he used to. Samir stopped his car. "What's your name?" he asked. "Rahul." The boy replied, "I'm going to school. I want to become a doctor." Samir smiled and opened his trunk. Inside was a new pair of black shoes. His size. "Try these," he said. The boy looked confused. "Why?" Samir knelt down and said, "Because someone once did the same for me, and I promised to do the same." This story teaches us kindness is never wasted. What you give today may become someone's strength tomorrow. In a world full of struggles, a small act of love, a pair of shoes, a word of encouragement can change someone's whole life. Never underestimate what you can give, even if it feels small. And never forget your beginnings. Your past doesn't make you weak. It makes your journey beautiful. Walk with pride, but always remember the barefoot steps that led you where you are today.